Welcome back to another episode of Black Girls Texting. It's your girl, Sade. Hey, bitches.
It's your girl, Charles Pinky.
I didn't know we were singing and I'm not prepared. It's Glenn. Oh, I kind of sang.
That was melodic.
Yeah, remember when we had Patreon?
Oh.
That's going to trigger me. No shades to the patrons.
Honestly, it would have been nice to have a Patreon during a lot of this to like
True.
you could go on there and be like, and just like tell the patrons.
This and some other things would have been great on Patreon.
Because we used to be spilling the tea on Patreon. Maybe we'll bring it back or we'll do like a mini something because that
Glenn
was
is like, get out of my face.
No, I mean, it was a lot because you have to record so much, but it was like so fun to be able to just like
fuck around,
get into it.
Like sitting in my bed talking shit.
Yeah, we'd be like,
we were not being demure or cutesy. We were
not
being
at all.
Not
very
mindful.
opposite.
The other ones are like very New York, very dead ass. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm trying to think through it. We've figured out our font, and that was really long. The font was holding up the bottle, which is wow. This is all really triggering.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh my god, the font held up the bottle, but to our credit, I think we had like. We didn't know what we were doing. We had to go through this process. Like it just was what it was. So we really had to take our time and figure it out. And I think we landed in such a good place with like the font and like all our icons and elements and colors. Like I'm working on like just a brand deck for us to like pitch. And it just was like so seamless because I'm like,
because you have all the stuff.
Header font is this. Subheading font is that. Copy font is this. These are all the colors. These are all the elements. And it just like falls so nicely in place. But for us to get there was crazy. We were looking at fonts for hours and hours and hours and hours. But I think it all was worth it. But we were held up a bit with the font. So then when it came time to the bottle, we knew our bottle like
vessel
and shape. We also learned a lot about bottle like trademarking and like little nuances that go into like people will trademark certain ways in which a bottle even
the
like
mold.
Opens. Yeah, like the mold and like all these unique things. And so there would be bottles that would be like, oh, we'd like to have like an element of this, an element of that. And they're like, oh no, you can't do that.
Yeah,
because
we're not about to
like,
recreate a whole thing for you.
Yeah, like trademarked and like not allowed and you will get sued. And we were like, oh, okay. But then we get to actually needing to print like all the elements of the design onto the bottle. And you guys mentioned briefly that we wanted to have this like element that was like knocked out so that you could see the formula through the bottle.
It's called punching it out, punch out letters, where it's like, punched out so you can see what's inside of the bottle.
And that was about, I kid you not,
2 months.
Yeah, like almost 2 months of like trying to figure that out.
Yeah. Damn. When you put it like that.
And the other thing you have to remember is that there are certain minimums, like they're called minimum order quantities or MOQs in retail. So like when you're ordering bottles or boxes or, any of those like ancillary pieces, you even have it with the formula. There's a minimum amount that like the formula would go into a certain amount of bottles or whatever your vessel may be. You have to meet minimums for factories and manufacturers to even want to talk to you. So if you're coming to them like, oh, I just want a couple hundred of blah, blah, blah.
And it's something special. Like they have to knock out letters versus just solitary color on a bottle.
Yeah.
They're looking at you like, no, we're not
marketing, right? Like we're not dealing with like a big budget where we can just start going and ordering a big ass supply of bottles.
Yes,
No.
we're not Beyonce and Sacred with all those
Right.
fancy bottles. But one day,
I
one day.
dream exactly.
One day.
Yeah.
I do see how total aside, how people get kind of like annoyed with celebrity brands because they do have so much money to kind of just be like, I'm gonna fuck around and make a brand. And then
And make the
people who,
coolest packaging and
yeah,
Ever.
they can like spend so much money on that and like do all of that, and your
that's
average
what
person cannot.
that's why it's fucking annoying when celebrities make a brand and the formula is shit or like it doesn't actually work properly because it's like, bitch, you
Right, you
had
did a great
every
job.
resource. Yeah, your packaging is cute, but like the product is trash.
Yeah, that's definitely not a good look, and I'm looking at everybody sideways if you have the capital and it's not giving what it's supposed to give, because sorry babes. But the other side of that is I think that there is something to, like, people are just going to buy it regardless
Mm-hmm.
because it's X person.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's tricky because we were like, okay, nobody knows us, we don't have any background in this per se, we just like had an idea, so we were like, it has to be perfect and look ideally perfect, and we don't have a perfect budget. So it was very, very hard to
Yeah.
strike that balance. And I think we did a great job, but I think that's what caused it to just like take a really long time, because it wasn't just like a one size fits all solution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like the only product I know that is this product. So it's like a new, like I don't know of any glow serums that also accelerate your tan in a natural way. So it's like something new. Um yeah, I'm
Yeah.
excited.
Yeah. I mean, where we ended up landing and where we are currently, we actually just approved our bottle like today, actually.
Hmm.
Um, and you'll see it soon. I don't know how much I want to talk about it, but I'll share one thing. Because we weren't able to get like the knockout letters and we wanted it to be evocative or like represent the color of our serum, we had to start thinking about like what color our fonts could be and like what that color font would sort of communicate, because we
Yeah.
want, when
Hmm.
you see the color, to start to think about like bronze skin. And so we don't have
Yes.
the product itself to speak to that, so we had to get creative about how we design the bottle. And I
Yep.
think we we did that.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
Yeah. That's such a
I'm
good point too. Like, you literally have to get into like the psyche, and people do all these studies on like marketing and how, like, the psychology behind marketing and how people do things. Like, we were trying to get into the mind of like a customer without being too close to it as our own brand, and be like, if I saw this, would this make sense? Like, for one,
mhm.
people don't even like, it's hard to even get people to clearly understand the functionality. Now, on top of that, like, you need to evoke like beach and all these things. Like, it's quite complicated, but watch, because now everything with like skin and sun is on the rise. All the black girls are using the self tanner. I won't be surprised when people start trying to be blue water girl copycats.
Mhm.
We'll be
yeah.
flattered.
It was quite innovative what we did, you know? Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, so where we are now, like we were saying, the bottles, we confirmed the design and we are having our bottles printed and made, and, in an effort to try to get those bottles here in time for like the last few moments of like peak summer, Sade considered getting on an international flight to go pick up the
Quite
bottles.
literally, I was heading to China.
Yes. Um
But we've
but when it
pivoted.
comes out, y'all, please support it. It's so annoying because so many people have been hitting me up who have gotten the opportunity to like feel, smell, and touch the formula. And they're like, I want to buy it. I want to buy it. I want to buy it. My sister-in-law actually was just like, I'm going to Barbados. Like, I need a bottle for my trip. So I had to send her a sample bottle. But um
Well, that's a good opportunity to say that on September 1st, we are going to be doing a special preview. And of course, our listeners who have been with us from the beginning, you are all invited. Be on the
Yes.
lookout in the next couple of days for more details, but it's an open invitation for folks to come by. We're going to throw a cute little fete in honor of Labor Day weekend, but also in honor
Bop,
of
bop,
our
bop, bop.
product and get it, like, again, letting folks touch, feel, smell, experience the product right before it becomes available for purchase.
Mhm.
Yes.
Because you've been with us along this whole journey, so we thought it'd be nice to give you that next inside look at the process by getting an early, experience of it.
Yeah.
So yes, September
That was
1st.
super important to us. And we'll keep everyone else, if you're not in the New York area, posted on when you can buy. Of course, we'll be screaming it from the rooftops. And like we said, like it's not just for taking to the beach or taking to the pool or taking to a warm destination. Like I had that on in the park and I was like getting some great sun, or I'll wear it like I
Out
pretty
to
much just
dinner.
always keep it in my purse. Like I really just always have like a little bit of it on me, not
Yeah.
just because it's my brand, but genuinely like I love it because like I'm about to step into a party or something and I just like and I walk in and everyone's like, "Oh my god, you smell so good. Oh my god, what is that?" And so we truly were very adamant. Chelsea, particularly, was super adamant about it being dual
Yeah.
use for that purpose, that you can kind of like take it anywhere and do everything with it. So,
Yeah. I honestly wear it to smell good.
Yeah,
Like,
same. It just smells
yeah,
amazing.
I love like a nice scent. And so, like, I will just lather on myself. I've
Sometimes
been
I
like
just on my
figuring out
hand.
what on your hands. I've been figuring out what perfumes like even make it enhance it. So
pair with
I
it.
think eventually, yeah, we're gonna lean into the scent of it all too because it's just really
Yeah,
yummy.
that's definitely on the horizon. I've become, this is a total aside, I've slowly become someone who like wears perfume to bed, which is so
Oh yeah,
expensive.
same.
I always do that.
It's a
But I'm
beautiful.
leaning into it mostly because my boyfriend will be like, "Oh my god, you smell so good," and so I'll be like,
Mhm.
"Oh," like I get out of the shower and I'll just boop, boop, and I
A
get
little
in bed and
sip.
he'll be like, "You smell so good," and I'll be like, "Oh,
It's
just
just me.
me, fresh out
Yeah,
the
just my
shower."
natural pheromones.
And it's just like that is like such a sexy, but also like you said, Glenn, like it transports you kind of scent. Like it's such a vibe.
Mhm.
We definitely want to lean into that space.
It
And
is.
I think
Yeah,
the girls might have a little nose on us, as they say
yes, I do.
in the
They told
In
space.
us
the
that. They said that
industry.
we have a nose. I think they told us that when we were
They
the
did?
mhm.
Oh my god, they probably were not talking to me.
I mean, yeah, the perfume, the girlies know I love a perfume. I think did I already say that I bought our friend's perfume?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, the
People can
scent.
buy it at 13 Loon, right?
Mhm.
Yes, our friends, Naked Beauty. Yes,
Naked
you can buy it
Beauty.
at 13 Loon. In fact, I'll just show you guys it, friends support friends.
Yes.
Mhm.
Ooh, and when you're done, that takes me to another point.
So this is our
So
friend
gorgeous.
Brooks. She has the Naked Beauty podcast too. So I'm loving this like podcast to product pipeline.
Yeah.
Yes,
Um,
podcast to product. And it's not just like t-shirts.
It looks like a
yes,
nice heavy box too, or like a
it
nice thick.
is. It
Ah,
is.
Ooh, and that box
And
closes. Pop.
yeah.
and this is the
Remember we were
bottle.
talking about a
This is like
gradient?
that was what we really,
Oh my
really, really.
gosh, it's
That was
beautiful. And
we
what
Yeah,
are
I
literally.
mean,
the notes?
so the top notes are bergamot and neroli. Then the heart notes are orange blossom, green tea, and cedarwood. And then the base notes are
Tea.
sandalwood. I don't know what that other word is. Amber and musk.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Shout out to Brooke, which reminded me of something else I want to mention through this process. The community of like other entrepreneurs have been so incredible. Like I was having a full on meltdown last week because we thought our bottles would be here sooner. We definitely were hoping that like around this time everything would be available for sale. And so when we found out that it was likely going to be pushed back, I was freaking out. I was China bound. And
Yep.
I messaged Christina from 54 Thrones. Shout out to 54 Thrones.
Yes.
Um, check them out. They create a little bit of everything, like body care in the body care space, shea
It's very
butters, a
luxurious.
body wash, like very beautiful, inspired by the continent of Africa. And she's just been like such a supporter from the beginning. But I particularly reached out to her because I was just like, well, what do we do? Like, we still want to have something for people to experience, and like, how do we pivot? And she was like, relax. This happens. Like, pivot, lean on your community, your support. There's still people who support you. Like calm down. And I was like, okay. And she like almost everyone we spoke to was like, yes, this has happened to me, which
Yeah.
I knew, but it was like nice to hear like it's happened to me, and like we still were successful. We figured it out.
Yeah.
So shout outs to her. Shout outs to Giada from Ami Collet, Abina from Hana Hana Beauty. Oh my gosh.
Dr. Jenitin.
Davlin. Yes,
Yes.
from
Yep.
Namesake.
Yeah,
Dr.
Davelin from
Jenitin.
Namesake.
David.
Dr. Jenitin from Epologic. Um,
There's so
who else?
many.
All the
Yeah,
girls.
there's literally so many. I feel like we're definitely missing
I
people,
know we
but
could be missing people, but we were like in this weird space of like at first trying to be a little secretive about it while we were still like figuring it out. And then slowly, as we started telling people, they were like, what's happening? Like, how are things
oh my,
going? Like, checking in. And
wait, remember when we were like, we're gonna have to make people sign an NDA if we discuss it with
I think one of our decks, or like some document says like top secret product or
Yes.
something insane.
Master plans or something.
Yes, something
Well, to be
hilarious.
fair, it is really scary though if you share your plan with someone that has like a lot more resources than you and they are not a good actor and they fucking
Yeah,
take your idea. That is scary.
Yeah.
So we were anxious at first, but
absolutely. No, I think cautious in the best way, but it all
yeah,
worked out and everyone was so great. And something that I love, especially about Black women, is like we're getting out of this like crabs in a barrel mindset, which I don't blame anyone who's been in that mindset, because there was a lot of times where there could only be one, or there was only one. And so it was just like, I got to figure out how to get ahead. And like now it's just such an incredible community. Like, how can I help you? What can I do? Who can I introduce you to? Like, what do you need? And
yeah,
we can all like uplift one another, and everybody eats, everybody grows together. So it's so nice. Like, even I've talking to people and they've been like, yeah, transparently, like I'm also working on like a glow product. And it's like,
Mhm.
okay, yeah, like there's gonna be glow
We all
products out
want to
there.
glow.
And like,
Right.
you're gonna have an incredible glow product, and I'm gonna have an incredible glow product. I'll use your product and my product. Like, how
Yep.
many of the same or similar-ish products do I have in my cabinets right now from multiple brands? I couldn't even tell you. It's actually getting out of control how I'm
yeah,
starting to consume heavily on hair care and skincare.
Mhm.
yes.
But it's
But
really
for
nice.
those of that is really nice, and I love that point. But I also want to point out for those of you who are trying to pull back on your consumerism, like myself, the good thing about our product, I think we've said it a few times already, but it is dual
It is
purpose.
dual use.
So you can
Yep.
buy our product and have two use cases. So
Yes.
yeah, because I
Yes.
know
Mhm.
And
some of
yeah,
the
I was
girls are
gonna
trying
say,
to pull back.
it's like we have a unique like value proposition as well. So, which
Mhm.
I think a lot of people do in terms of like how they're thinking about their brands, which I also love. Like, people being mindful of sustainability, or they have like a give back, or there's something else that they're doing. So it's great. There's a lot of amazing brands out there. We hope that you will support us, support them. To your point, Chelsea, be mindful about where you're spending your dollars, what you're putting on your body,
Mm-hmm.
researching the ingredients, researching the founders, and just being an intentional shopper. And we hope that if you have any interest into going into the entrepreneur space, whatever that looks like, beauty, skin, hair, clothing, food, beverage, that
Yeah.
this episode gave you some inspiration to do your thing. Um,
Mm-hmm. It's
yeah,
a
just
hard journey, but
for
it's
it.
a fun one.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
it's creative, and it's like amazing to see your vision come to life in all these
Yeah.
different sort of like checkpoints along the way. Like we said, when we got the formula, it was like, whoa, then we got the fragrance, and we got the fonts. Like it just continues to like come to life, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have the final debut. We're almost there.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Um, but now we're on TikTok. I actually should make a TikTok of the different bottle or the,
Mm-hmm.
version 1, version
Yes.
2. Then this
The
is
iterations
not
of
our final version, but
every single thing.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My goodness.
Yeah.
That, oof.
We're almost here.
We're almost here. I know we keep saying that, but we really are. And we couldn't do any of this without you guys. So thank you for your support. And like Glenn said, if you're around, please pull up on us. September 1st, it'll be like a baby shower. No, you
And
can actually
see.
No, it's
you
a
can
sip
see
and
the
see.
baby. Yeah, yeah, a sip and see. You'll see our
Yeah.
baby.
You'll see our
Mm-hmm.
baby.
And
I don't think I'm coming, but maybe I am. But last time, no, the tickets are crazy.
oh yeah,
And
because it's Labor
easier to
Day.
oh.
I mean, I'll check again, but
Yeah, damn.
Well,
we
we
have
will be
to,
coming to LA. LA
Yeah.
West Coast listeners, that's on the
yeah.
docket.
Yes.
Probably
Really exciting.
later in
Proper.
September, early October, we're
Yeah.
thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So don't fret. We're coming to all the coasts. We're covering all the coasts,
Mm-hmm.
making our world
Yes.
tour so everyone can experience. And yeah, as soon as we end this recording, we're going to probably be doing more work. So, yay!
Woo.
Entrepreneurship. No, it's worth it. It's worth it. It really is. Thank you guys for listening. We hope you enjoyed this episode. I think next week we'll probably be back to the mess and the drama. Honestly, nothing exciting is happening in
There's
my
so
life.
much that has been happening that we did not talk about. You guys forced me to
Oh,
watch Love Island. The reunion was just yesterday. Um, the, politics, the
There's a
convention was last night. There's actually a lot going on.
oh, well, I was thinking about my life specifically,
Okay, Leo.
which is slow. I'm
I'm
going to
like, wait,
do
what?
the.
There's so much
Yeah, I'm
happening,
like,
girl.
nothing's happening. I'm just doing things. Okay, yes. Well, next week we'll be back to share more on everything else that's happening in the world, as well as my life. Maybe something we'll pick up over the weekend. But until
Well,
then,
bye-bye.
bye bye.
Bye.